More. Let's bring in North Carolina Congressman Mark Harris. Congressman Harris, welcome to the show. Congressman, let me start with a question about the War Powers Act. So the president's war powers have been reaffirmed over and over again in Congress. Does this help his leverage in negotiations?
Well, I think it does, Bill. I think it certainly recognizes that the president has the ability to make these particular strikes, particularly when we see national security an issue. And there's been no question, stopping Iran from having a nuclear weapon is of our national security and really the security of the entire region. So I think it does, and I think we've reaffirmed that and stood with the president time and time again.
Yeah, it's really a shame that they're focusing on this as we're looking at the DHS shutdown, Congressman. The agency calling furloughed staff back to work despite the shutdown still going on. How does it end?
Well, I think right now we're at a position where, again, we've seen the Democrats stonewalling. The Senate made this incredible move of actually zeroing out ICE and Border Patrol and sent that over to us in the House. As you recall, we simply rejected that. We passed a bill that called for a continuing resolution through May 22nd that would fund all of DHS, sent it back to the Senate. They then played ping pong and sent us back the bill. It now looks like we're going to have to use Reconciliation 2.0, as it's being called, that is going to fund ICE and Border Patrol. But I'll tell you, those of us in the House, we're not interested in voting for anything that zeroes out ICE and Border Patrol. That is a major step back. So I think at best, we're going to see something that's going to involve probably happening simultaneously. But the Senate, I understand, is already working on the reconciliation that they'll deal with ICE and Border Patrol and then send that over to us in the House.
Yeah, let's hope so, Congressman. Let's hope we can move forward with this. The Manhattan DA has opened an investigation into sexual assault allegations against California Congressman and gubernatorial candidate Eric Swalwell. Congressman, two questions, really. Could this be the end of his career, and do you think he's going to be held accountable?
Well, it certainly could be the end of his career. I mean, you're seeing people jump ship all around him, from the endorsements that have been given to him early, including Nancy Pelosi and Adam Schiff, all of those jumping ship. Some of the teacher unions and those folks are jumping ship. So it could very well be the end of his career. I certainly believe he should be held accountable. I mean, there are standards that members of Congress certainly need to be able to uphold. And when those standards are let down, we find ourselves in a situation where there needs to be a full investigation. These allegations need to be taken very seriously, and ultimately, he needs to be held accountable. And I know some of my colleagues have already announced motions or moves that are being made next week when we get back that are going to deal with censure and other items. So I think that there is going to be an opportunity, and it'll certainly be heavy conversation as we return to Washington this week.
Congressman Mark Harris, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Well, let's